Right, the face-off between BJP and opposition MPs persisted, leading to the adjournment of both houses over alleged George Soros and the Congress connection. Now, but we are, of course, looking at the Constitution debate, the debate over the Constitution, which is going to start in the Parliament from Friday. And as per sources, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will start the debate on behalf of the government. At least 15 BJP leaders are expected to speak as per sources. From the opposition side, both Rahul Gandhi as well as Priyanka Gandhi are likely to speak. In fact, sources indicate that Priyanka Gandhi might be the first speaker from the opposition side.
आज ये जॉर्ज सोरोस बड़े स्पष्ट शब्दों में कहता है कि मैं वर्तमान व्यवस्था को डिस्टर्ब करूंगा, जो कहता है कि मैं मोदी जी की गवर्नमेंट को पदच्युत करने के लिए, डिस्टेबलाइज करने के लिए मैं फंडिंग करूंगा, उनके साथ सोनिया गांधी जी का क्या संबंध है, ये देश जानना चाहता है। इस मुद्दे को भटकाने के लिए इस तरीके का प्रयास कांग्रेस पार्टी कर रही है। हम इसका पुरजोर भर्त्सना करते हैं, निंदा करते हैं।
These are the pre-planned design by Narendra Modi ji, not to run the house. Yesterday, leader of opposition had met the honorable speaker and he informed the speaker that we are for running the house. Whatever allegation the member Nishikant Dubey make, you have to examine it and expunge it. Speaker assured us also. The same thing happened today itself. We don't know how a member getting every day 0 hour, that for same subject. For the last 1 week, you can see that.
जॉर्ज सोरोस भाजपा के विफलताओं को छुपाने का सुरक्षा कवच बन चुका है और इसीलिए एक ही विषय पर बार बार 0 आवर में उल्लेखित होना उसी का प्रमाण है, उसी का सबूत है। पार्लियामेंट का कानून ये कहता है कि जब एक बार विषय 0 आवर में उठ जाता है तो उस विषय को दोबारा नहीं आ सकता। लेकिन हम देख रहे हैं कि भाजपा के एक लोकसभा सदस्य को बार बार उसी विषय को उठाने के लिए हर दिन उसको 0 आवर में अवसर मिल रहा है और उसने पिछले हफ्ते इस विषय को उठाया भी। जिस विषय को उन्होंने उठाया आज दोबारा उनको उठाने का अवसर मिला। तो क्या पार्लियामेंट के कानून भाजपा पे लागू नहीं है?
मैं समझती हूँ बहुत सारी समस्याएं जो उत्तर प्रदेश में हैं, जहाँ हमने देखा कि किस तरह उत्तर प्रदेश के भाईचारे को खराब करने का काम मौजूदा शासन, प्रशासन और सरकार ने मिलकर किया है। और आज जहां हम संविधान दिवस मना रहे हैं 75वां, तो वहीं बहुत सारे जो हमारे अधिकार हैं जिनका लगातार हनन मौजूदा सरकार कर रही है, इस पे भी प्रश्न उठता है आज। और जो 2 दिन का जो स्पीच होगी तो हम सब अपने पक्ष को रखेंगे इस मुद्दे पर।
BJP has also ensured that its leaders are meeting today. In fact, there was a very important meeting of Home Minister Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister, at the Prime Minister's residence a short while ago. Before that, even in the Parliament, Kiren Rijiju, Arjun Ram Meghwal had a meeting. So clearly, you know, all of this seems to be geared towards the fact that tomorrow is going to be the spotlight of the entire session. The Constitution is going to be debated. This is a political move also by the BJP. The subtext of that is interesting. The BJP completely wants to own the narrative around the Constitution. discussion specifically around the reservation policy after what we saw in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, something that has been denied and dismissed in the subsequent electoral victories that the BJP has enjoyed both in Haryana and Maharashtra. But today, of course, in the Rajya Sabha, there was complete chaos. It was, in fact, a theatre of complete disruptions with JP Nadda, defending the chairperson who is actually facing a lot of accusations from the India bloc allies who have called him the biggest disruptor. And but of course, the picture was slightly different in the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha, I'm happy to at least report that the disaster management bill has been cleared. Yesterday, we saw the railway amendment bill being cleared. In fact, even during the discussion of the disaster management bill, Asaduddin Owaisi made this important point that pollution and heat wave are not part of disasters, which is something that should make us think. So clearly, when the parliament runs, it always makes all of us as citizens feel proud about this.
Now, the Cabinet has cleared the One Nation, One Election bill, which aims to synchronize all elections in the country. The bill is set to be tabled in Parliament next week as per sources. This move comes after the government accepted the recommendations from a high-level committee led by former President Ramnath Kovind.
ये आना चाहिए, जैसे आप उड़ीसा में देखिए एक साथ चुनाव हुए और आपको बार बार चुनाव में जाना नहीं है, लेकिन हमारा प्रदेश में वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन नहीं है। अभी हमने लोकसभा चुनाव किए, दोबारा अभी विधानसभा चुनाव करना पड़ता है और जो साल भी आप लोकसभा या विधानसभा चुनाव करते हैं लगभग पूरा साल में कुछ डेवलपमेंट का काम नहीं होते हैं। तो इसीलिए प्रधानमंत्री जी चाहते हैं वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन हो। हम लोग इसको पूरा समर्थन करता हूँ।
नया एंगल था कि इसमें बेरोजगारी की अब बात ना हो, अब अगले सेशन में जो है महंगाई की बात ना हो, बजट की कमियां होंगी या बजट की जो खामियां होंगी उन पे बातें ना हो, बल्कि बात हो वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन पे।
ले लिया फैसला तो बिल्कुल समर्थन करते हैं। हम लोग कमेटी के पास भी गए थे, आदरणीय रामनाथ कोविंद जी कमेटी के पास। कमेटी में भी हम लोगों ने कहा था, हमारी पार्टी ने कहा था कि हमारे नेता नीतीश कुमार शुरू से पक्षधर रहे हैं लोकसभा में।
जब हमारे हाउस में वो प्रस्तुत हो जाएगा तो उसको देखने के बाद उसके मेरिट पे हम बात करेंगे। पर मेरे दिमाग में एक सवाल है कि जिनका विधानसभाओं का कार्यकाल बचा हुआ उनका क्या होगा, जिन विधानसभाओं का कार्यकाल खत्म हो चुका है उनका क्या होगा। और मैं कोविंद साहब की इस थ्योरी को समझ नहीं पा रहा हूँ कि इससे 1.5% GDP बढ़ जाएगी। वो कभी अर्थशास्त्री नहीं रहे हैं।
It's a long procedure because, as you are well aware, the constitutional amendment has a lot of processes that have to be followed. It's going to be take some time. That's the reason why the government is ticking the box, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his cabinet have followed in letter and spirit what the Cohen Committee report has done. What they have and what we've been able to understand from our sources is that the cabinet has cleared the first phase of the One Nation, One Poll. What does the first phase mean? It means that elections to be conducted simultaneously for Lok Sabha as well as state assembly elections. That proposal, which amends 4 constitutional amendments, will be tabled in the floor of the House, as you said, as early as next week. It should be given to members during the weekend so that they can study it, and if they have any provisions against it, they can put it up. The House has to be on order when a constitutional amendment is moved, and it's in that process that we will have to wait and see. They haven't touched the other process, what is called a simultaneous, just immediately after this election, to conduct elections for panchayats and local bodies after 100 days. They're not touching that, which also means a common electoral roll, which will need ratification of state assemblies. What the first phase does is this constitutional amendment is only required to be passed by the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha and does not need the ratification of states. So that's the first process that they have done. But yes, it will go to a parliamentary committee, a JPC as they're talking about it, if not a full parliamentary committee, to study in depth, speak to everybody else, and then go through the contours of that. But as you are and I know, Parliament is unpredictable. We'll have to wait and see how things play out. There are already remarks from federal, from state chief ministers as well as others who feel it goes against federalism, against parliamentary democracy. So we'll have to wait and see how they muster that 2/3 majority, both in Lok Sabha as well as in the Rajya Sabha.
Now, the Congress has released its first list of candidates days after Aam Aadmi Party made it clear that there was no chance of an alliance with Congress for Delhi elections. Interestingly, Sandeep Dixit, former MP and son of former Delhi CM Sheila Dixit, has been fielded from New Delhi. Remember, Arvind Kejriwal, the Aam Aadmi Party chief, is the sitting MLA from the New Delhi constituency. For more on this, I'm joined by my colleague Sunil Prabhu. Sunil, so an interesting choice by the Congress, because Sandeep Dixit, of course, has always been a vocal critic of the Aam Aadmi Party, even at the time when Congress was the fact that Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress are allies in the India bloc. But now that it's clear that there's going to be no tie-up for Delhi elections, so the Congress has gone out and released its first list, and an interesting choice to be pitted against Arvind Kejriwal.
That's right. Sandeep Dixit is, in fact, an old hand and a veteran Delhi leader who actually helped his mother, Sheila Dixit, 15 years as chief minister to nurture the New Delhi constituency. He, of course, was a member of parliament from the Trans-Yamuna region and East Delhi. So it's in that context now that the Congress has released that list of 21. He's one of those prominent amongst the other ministers of the Sheila Dixit government, Haroon Yusuf. There's, of course, Devendra Yadav, who's also the PCC chief, Ragini Nayak, Jai Kishan, who's also a former MLA, Abhishek Dutt. So all heavyweights have been asked to contest in the Delhi elections and put up their best. As you're well aware, the Congress in Delhi has been really a decimal point and marginalized completely. So we'll wait and see if they are able to make an entry back into Delhi after losing 3 consecutive state assembly elections.
Sunil Prabhu there, thank you so much for joining us on that update. Shifting focus now to the Bengaluru techie suicide case. Now, the Bengaluru police is in Uttar Pradesh, but they are still to find the accused wife. Remember, the accused wife's family resides in Jaunpur in Uttar Pradesh, and the Bengaluru police team have been there. They have, in fact, held talks with the local police there, but so far they have not been able to speak to the accused's family, the wife's family in the wife and her family in Jaunpur. News now from the JNU campus. There was violence reported during the screening of the movie Sabarmati Report. Stones were pelted at students watching the film. Few students were also said to be injured. The movie screening continued after the attack. Let me go across to my colleague Tanushka for more on this. Tanushka, give us an understanding of what actually happened.
Well, stones were pelted on students during the screening of the Sabarmati Report at JNU today. The screening was being held by the student-led party ABVP, and ABVP claimed that today, in the first 10 minutes of the screening of the film, which stars Vikrant Massey, stones were pelted onto the students from hostels, although students are still unclear as to who, these people were who pelted stones onto them. Some students also say that stones were pelted onto them from the outside. A few students have received minor injuries, and the screening was stopped for a bit, but it was resumed after some time as well. Officials of the ABVP wing, such as the ABVP JNU secretary Shikha Swaraj, has also confirmed that of this incident and that it happened, and some students were also injured. But there's still unidentified miscreants, and the university administration has not yet said anything about this matter that happened at JNU today.
Right, Tanushka there, thank you so much for joining us with that update. Now, veteran Telugu actor Mohan Babu has been booked in an attempt to murder case for assaulting a journalist. This following a complaint by the 35-year-old journalist. In his complaint, the journalist had said that when he visited Mohan Babu's Jalpalli residence on December 10th to cover the ongoing dispute between the actor and his younger son, the senior actor had confronted him and other journalists aggressively. Now, switching tracks back to political news, and a leadership tussle is intensifying within the India bloc, with allies advocating for a leadership rejig, hinting at a future without Congress at the helm. The Trinamool Congress is pushing Mamata Banerjee as an alternative to Prime Minister Modi and possibly as the head of the India bloc. signaling a lack of confidence in Rahul Gandhi's leadership capabilities. This has led to Congress becoming increasingly isolated within the alliance as the cracks widen amid the ongoing power struggle. Meanwhile, the Samajwadi Party suggests Akhilesh Yadav should coordinate the India alliance, adding to internal dynamics.
जी समाजवादी सांसद आप मुझसे पूछेंगे कि जो इंडिया ब्लॉक की जो कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी के अध्यक्ष की बात अगर कोई किया जाए, संयोजक की बात किया जाए, तो मैं चाहूँगा कि हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष श्री अखिलेश यादव जी को संयोजक बनाया जाए ताकि हम अपने प्रदेश के मुद्दे को प्राथमिकता के तौर पर उसे उठा सके सदन में।
कल्याण बनर्जी खेद प्रकाश किया, उस स्पीकर का घर में दोनों गए थे। वहाँ ठीक हुआ कि कल्याण हाउस पे आके ये बोलेंगे और वो मान लेंगे। मैं इतना दिन तक जानता है, तो कल्याण तो बोला, ज्योतिरादित्य तो नहीं माना। इसके बाद स्पीकर को भी कुछ कदम उठाना चाहिए। ये बोलना ठीक नहीं हुआ, वो तो मैं मान लेता हूँ। ये कांग्रेस भी नहीं चाहता, बीजेपी भी नहीं चाहता, हम लोग क्या करेंगे? ममता बनर्जी हम लोगों को बता दिया हाउस चलना चाहिए, और बंगाल का बहुत समस्या है। दिल्ली सरकार बंगाल को रुपया नहीं देता, वो आवास योजना की रुपया नहीं देता, वो मनरेगा की रुपया नहीं देता।
We'll head into a short break at this point, but the news continues right here on NDTV.